Welcome to this week's episode of Kidlet 6. Each week we get to spend 6 minutes together celebrating book birthdays, connecting with authors, and hearing lots of great book recommendations that you can add to your reading wish lists. If you're new here, welcome. We're so glad you're here. If you're interested in finding more new books to read, you can go back and watch previous episodes and you'll get lots of fantastic book recommendations. And if you've been around for a while, welcome back. As a reminder, all the books mentioned in the episode are listed down below, so if you hear about a book that sounds interesting and you think you might want to read it, you can look down there and get all the details. This week's Kidlet 6 book of the week is Jeff Pennant's Field Guide to Happy Parents. Why in the world don't parents come with an instruction manual? They say do this and this and this and they'll be happy, and yet when you follow their instructions exactly like you think you've heard them, they're not pleased. And so Jeff Pennant decides he's going to create a field guide about his parents. He's going to observe them and record what he sees and hears and what they do, just like you might make a field guide of animals or different things out in nature. He's convinced that his findings will help him get back on his parents' good side and he'll be able to do the things he's been wanting to do. But things don't go quite the way he has planned with this field guide. This book is great for any kid that's ever wished they had an instruction manual for their parents. It might give you some great insight into your parents and the things they do and say. This book is also great for anyone looking to navigate the different relationships in their life. Siblings, friendships, teachers, parents. Jeff gets to navigate a number of different relationships, and I think he gains some valuable insights along the way that can also help you.
My name is Kaela Noel, and I'm the author of Coup. Coup is the story of a girl with a very unusual past. She's been raised her entire life on a city roof in secret by a flock of pigeons. But when she's 10 years old, she has to venture down into the human world for the first time, and she finds out it's much more interesting and dangerous than she ever expected. So, this one is my book, but I'm actually here today to talk to you about another book, one that I love. It's called 365 Days to Alaska, and it's by Cathy Carr. And it's the story of a girl who lives out in the Alaskan wilderness with her family. They hunt, they live off the grid, so no electricity, and she's homeschooled. But after her parents get divorced, she has to move to suburban Connecticut with her mother and her sister. It's a big adjustment. And the story is all about how she comes to terms with it, and also it's about her special relationship with a bird that she meets, a crow, whom she names Blueberry in Connecticut. So if you like stories that are wonderfully written with incredible characters, they're funny but also serious, I highly recommend 365 Days to Alaska by Cathy Carr.
The day a book first comes out is called its publication date. But that's kind of a boring name. It can also be called its book birthday, and since that's a lot more fun, we're going to go with that. So let's get ready to celebrate a few of this week's book birthdays. First up is Heart Finds. 11-year-old Mabel is kind of a quiet loner. Her favorite thing to do is go treasure hunting with her grandpa. But not all the things that they find are what other people would consider treasures. In fact, her mom doesn't really approve of what they're doing. And then her grandfather has a stroke and things just aren't the same. Mabel is desperate to get things to return to the way they were, and so she puts a plan together that will help return things to what they used to be. Except that making this plan happen will require her to lie to her grandpa and disappoint her mom. Is it actually worth it? Next up is Heroes Like Us, 2 stories. This is a book with not one, but 2 short stories. These are the stories of kids who get to be heroes. In the first story, The Day We Met the Queen, Ahmet and his friends are invited to have tea with the Queen of England. But things definitely don't go according to plan when they come across their enemy. Will they be able to escape and make it to tea on time? The next story in the book is The Great Food Bank Heist. The shelves of the food bank are getting emptier and emptier, and they're just not sure who's stealing the food. But one thing's for certain, the robberies need to stop. was a maudlin story of a little orphan girl and her lost dog. Do you think you can create your own sentence using the word maudlin? Try creating your own sentence and then sharing with us in the comments down below or on social media at Kidlet6. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you found lots of great books to read. We'll be back next week with even more recommendations. In the meantime, have a great week and happy reading.